We have a great guest today on Connecting Communities, Laura Ling.
Laura Lee.
I'm rebranding you. I am totally rebranding you, Laura Ling.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
We have one of my friends. I met Mike, oh gosh, 4 years ago, plus or minus. Him and his buddies were developing this concept called Three Kings Clothing. So they are a look. Is there a fly? Like, do you see that thing?
Is
Like,
there?
it's just a moving. Um, this morning, there's you see it. It's like a shooting star. So, my apologies. Today is just one of them days, right? It is Wednesday. So here it is. Refresh me what I was saying.
You're talking about Mike and Three Kings Clothing.
So, local clothing store. He made shirts. Again, this was at a time that he was keeping it local. We were kind of marketing his brand, doing some social media, doing some consulting, and I just loved his brand. We took it in a different direction than our original conversation, and his creations were out of this world. They were all about. I will tell you this. Oh, God, this is such a funny story. This was the first time that I got bougie. Okay.
Okay.
So we had to do. I don't even know what this is, and I'm gonna question him on this today. But do you remember Rosie Perez?
Yeah.
Okay, so something about top bougie or I don't even know. I have to go look that up. But it was such a cool campaign. And then he ended up doing shirts that were focusing on positiveness with women and people of color and diversity. It was just an amazing campaign. And he's had a couple different inventions. They created this cooler that was absolutely rad, and I can't really say a whole lot on it because I don't know what I'm allowed to say at this point, so I'm gonna make him say that. But I mean, definitely entrepreneur in every which way. And then probably 2 years ago, he ended up reaching out with Lead from the Front. So he does a show, Lead from the Front, where he goes and he meets business professionals that are taking the lead in our community. Right?
That's awesome.
Which is just pretty awesome. But Mike is a great guy, so I'm really excited to bring him on and hear about Lead from the Front, hear about Three Kings Clothing, and really just kind of see what he's been up to. So I'm excited. He'll be with us in about another 20 minutes or so.
Awesome.
Tell me about your week. What have you done, Laura Ling?
Let's see. I got my first grades back, first couple of projects back. So we're
Did you just start last week? How do you get grades already?
Yeah. Oh, well, this is going to be a heavy workload with not necessarily easy assignments due each week. Like my one class is budgeting, and it's like that's not my jam anyway, but we're talking about budgeting like on a bigger for like, public agencies and on bigger scales, and it's just like I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't this is above. I'm not grown enough to know how to do these things. Like, why are you? I know you gotta ask.
I've never had that much money to budget. I don't know how to do it.
I know. Exactly. And then this other and then my other class is just, it's an intro and theory class, so it's lots of reading, and then our professor, we have to write summaries of our reading every week. And so this week, and I got my feedback was, please include more definitions and be more concise. So I'm like, okay, include more information but be shorter. So we'll figure it out.
So is that where you do shorthand? Or you're like, go here and like a scavenger hunt?
You're gonna put the information. Yeah, I have. Well, and see, and this is the thing. It's such a different way of. There's different ways of writing. In legal writing, you are supposed to be very detailed, very, I mean, you've read stuff from, that they read from courts and legislatures or whatever, like half the words you don't understand. And they're just like these little fluffy words that we throw in there. We like to just throw $5 words in there to, justify the cost of stuff. But, yeah, it's going good. I was happy for it, and went out and had a sushi dinner last night, which was very nice.
Where did you go? What local establishment did you go to?
We went to Kyoto Ka on Central Avenue.
What kind of food is that, Laura?
It's Japanese. It's sushi. So, yep, had some sushi, little hibachi. They've got some hibachi and like bento boxes and stuff too. So.
Oh, yum. We've been trying to go to
I've been on a
this
sushi
Ethiopian
crave.
place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
Andrew really likes Ethiopian, obviously any type of Asian. He doesn't like raw sushi, but I'm like, cooked sushi is not real sushi. Like,
right.
it doesn't make
that's
sense.
what I think too. I know. And people love tempura. People love tempura stuff, but like I don't think it tastes good. And I don't know. It's like,
right? Like it's
right. That's that's how I feel it is too. And but what's also is like I don't actually with sushi, I prefer like tuna or salmon or like yellowfin. Like I like the red fishes. I don't really like the white fishes. And the I totally forgot where I was going, but like yeah, so or shrimp too, shrimp and crab too. And those are the things that people mostly fry. Oh, this is what I was saying. Like salmon and tuna, I love them as sushi. I don't eat them any other way. Like cooked, can't do it. Can't do it. It's like the only way I can eat it is if it's raw. It's so funny.
I like raw tuna, obviously. I'm not a big. I like fish. Now Andrew teeters on the fish. Because he's vegan, right? So he'll go back and forth. He's not a big, but if it's there, kind of a thing, he'll chomp on it. But he's pretty strict when it comes to the vegan. Like he doesn't do eggs. He doesn't do the butters. He
That's
even
hard.
sits a little bit on the sugars. I didn't know sugars weren't vegan. Did you know sugar's not vegan?
Yeah, they can be. Yeah, because I think is it lard? I think they can use lard in them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I would have never understood that, or I never got that. But it's crazy once you get all that research, right? And you can kind of find out what is going on at the end of the day with that information.
So where is this a local Ethiopian place that you guys
are
looking for?
You know what? He's downstairs taking care of the goats. If I see him pop up, I'll ask real quick. But there's an it's on Monroe Street.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I never knew.
Yeah, we've been trying to go, but we haven't been able to get in.
Yeah, I thought like the closest place you'd have to go for Ethiopian would be like Ann Arbor, literally. Like I never would have imagined.
I'm almost positive there's one here in Monroe Street. Like 95. Yeah. I know there's one in Ann Arbor because when we went to Ann Arbor 3 weeks ago, we tried to go in there and it wasn't open. They were only doing carry out, and we obviously did not want to pick it up and bring it home.
That's right. Yeah.
What else is there? But there is a place on Monroe that I'm thinking of that we've been trying to go to. I keep looking up because my camera is higher now, but I gotta look down. I know. I'm like, where am I at? I'm all confused. I don't like this all blue background. I gotta put something up there. It looks weird. Although I'm not wearing a hat today. Yeah. I'm not as shiny.
You just
my beard's coming in, right?
It is. It looks lovely. It's filling in nicely. Now
I still have a face.
I have to say like that length. Wow, that happens.
It does.
I think this length that you've got going on right now, though, I think that's where I like it. I think I like the stubble. I like just a little, just a little.
It's at a 5 right now. Because I just ended up trimming it down. It was at a 2, and that was too close to me, and I wasn't a fan of that. Because the gray was still popping in, and it looked really weird with the black. I looked like I belonged on 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, it looks splotchy for sure.
Speaking of 101 Dalmatians, we got a couple minutes before Mike gets in here. So Laura, let me tell you this.
Yes.
Yesterday. Oh wait, Andrew. Real quick. Welcome. We're on our podcast. What is the Ethiopian place is that here in town or is that in Ann Arbor?
Ann Arbor.
It was in Ann Arbor. I was incorrect, Laura. What's the place on Monroe Street that we want to go to though? That's always closed.
The one's always closed.
Yeah. Isn't there another place like on Monroe Street that we want to go to? Not Ethiopian, but what is it? Oh, you should see him right now.
He's just like, yeah.
He's like, I don't know. Don't talk to me. Bye, Andrew. I'm going to have to go drive past it today, and I'm going to let you know. But hey, listen, this is where you popped up on my feed this week. And let me tell you,
Uh-oh.
on TikTok.
What I do? Oh, you got to see one of my TikToks?
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
you were
Which
on
one was
the FYP.
it? Oh my gosh. Which
You
one?
made
I only
it.
have a few.
It was hilarious. I don't even remember what it was. I think I texted you after I read it because I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're probably like, where did that come from? That is now that you know it was off of your TikTok.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
And then no. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go back and take a look at some of her previous TikToks. My favorite one was when you were
Oh my gosh.
Laura Ling was talking about drinking wine and waiting for the elections. Because if you don't drink wine when you wait for election results, you're not real.
Oh no, it's everybody, like everybody's so excited about, federal elections, but unless you're not really in it unless you're drinking wine waiting on the local elections. Like that's
I loved
what
it.
it is.
Loved it. And then this is the real thing. I went back looking because I'm like, oh, let's look at her hairstyles. Right? They were like just a plethora of hair on the side, shaven hair, no glasses.
Yep. It's been 2020 has been an adventure in the hair. It has been an adventure in the hair travels, that's for sure.
Well, when I thought about it, I thought about that TikTok trend that was, tell me that you like different hairstyles without telling me you like different hairstyles.
I know. It's like, just go through my FYP and go through my posts and you'll see that for sure.
Oh, what's on your cup?
Oh, a dachshund.
Oh,
yeah, I got this in the Outer Banks a couple years ago. It's handmade, hand painted.
It looks really cute.
Yeah, it's so sweet. I love the Outer Banks.
I saw this picture of Andrew's that he did last week, and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. Did your nieces do that? And he goes, no, I did it.
No.
Open mouth, insert foot, like done. I'm like, oh, well, it just looks so highlighted, like a senior. Like where do you go with that? Like,
you can't go anywhere with that. Yeah. You just can't go anywhere with that.
Okay, welcome to my life.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You just say, oh, my bad. Sorry
Sometimes
about that.
I really wish we could control alt delete, right? Like control, like just take it back, wipe it out. Can't do it.
For
tell
real.
me, what have you been up to this week? You worked, you wrote a page, you got critiqued on it. What else happened?
Yep. Went out to dinner and just been helping out with some family stuff. I have I think I mentioned I had an aunt that had a stroke a couple weeks ago, so we've been taking turns helping out at her house with my uncle and walking dogs and feeding the cat, and so just getting it, doing stuff for the fam, keeping the house all together, keeping Miss Kitty over here entertained. She gets, she'll get mad at me if I, leave the house for too long. So
right.
Oh, I did get my new tattoo.
Oh, do you have any pictures of it? Can you share screen? We don't want you to undress. This is not an after-hours show.
I was just thinking if I had a short sleeve shirt on underneath, but no, we'll have to show it next week. It goes, It's pretty big. It goes from like here all the way up to here, and it's it's Dumbledore's Elder Wand. Here, I'll Google a picture of the Elder Wand.
Nice. What was the pain level, Laura?
It wasn't too bad in some parts, but when there were definitely a couple of parts when he was filling it in that I was like, oh boy, alrighty.
Are you color or are you black and white?
It's black and white, so it was mainly like down here is where it really painful. Yeah, that's where it really was starting to hurt. Okay, I think I've got a good picture here. Okay. Oh wait, can I make it big? There we go.
The last one I got was probably, I don't know, September-ish, right after I ended up moving out, and it's obviously a Kelly Clarkson, right? And it's pick the weeds and left the flowers.
Oh yeah. Yep. So that's what it looks like, and that's up on the forearm or back of my upper arm right there. So just about, and it's actually kind of fun too because it looks like I've got Dobby right here, who is a house elf. So the way the wand is above him, it could look like Dobby's holding the elf or holding the wand. Which,
Oh, nice.
if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know that's kind of a big deal. So
Right.
but yeah, it only took like 25 minutes, so it was done really quickly. But
mine was like an hour, and I only have
really?
like 15. Yeah, look at this. It is not like, it's not designed. They just wrote, and it took about 45 minutes to an hour. That was it.
Oh wow.
Just that.
Oh my gosh, no, my guy got this done in like 25, 30 minutes.
8 words.
I was
8 words.
No, I was prepared for it to be like an hour or 90 minutes. That's how much I blocked off. But no, he got done super quick. So it was pretty nice. I went to Amity Inc. in Maumee. That's also where I got my nose pierced. Yeah. They had a different location, I think, and have been moved to Maumee for about a year now. So yep, I got my nose pierced there the other week, and then got the tattoo there over the weekend, and everybody there is super great. They send you home with really great aftercare supplies.
Aftercare is so important with tattoos.
Oh, and piercings too. So yeah, they send you home with really great aftercare supplies. And actually, when I got my nose pierced, they set up an appointment for me to come back in like 3-4 weeks for them to check it and make sure that the jewelry's sitting nice and that it's healing really well. And it's like, I've never had, I've gotten all sorts of tattoos and piercings from all different types of places, and I've never had anybody, want to follow up before. So they have really great customer service.
This is kind of a personal question, but here we are, Laura Ling.
Hi.
I'm never going to let you live that down. I'm just telling you right now. You will always be Laura Ling now.
Okay.
Body piercings, like personal body piercings, tongue, eye, chest, whatever else you can pierce. Are you into that? Is that I don't want to say a scene. Do you find that? Here's my question.
Yeah.
And this is kind of goes back to, tell me that you're a 90s kid without telling me you're a 90s kid.
Oh my
I would
God.
have one of those tattoos, the tribal ones. That's how you know I would be a 90s tattoo. Like everyone had that, right? Or what were they called? The tramp stamp? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Tramp stamp? Right? You have one? Yes! Me too. No.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had, throughout various points, I had my tongue pierced. This is the second time I've had my nose pierced. I had my eyebrow pierced. I had my ear piercings went all the way up through here.
Yep.
I still have one up here. My ear piercings on this side, I had what was called an industrial. So it was
You
just
had that
a
at
huge
16.
bar. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that's speaking of which, I love the video of everyone thinks I'm 16. Why wouldn't I have the cookies in my cupboard?
Yep, it's true. It's true. That was, that was 6 months before. That was before 6 months of intensive therapy. And if you go in my cupboards, it's not much better right now. But thankfully, I have a roommate now, so he keeps me in a little bit more adult food. But
nice.
Yeah. No, yeah. I even tried to gauge, spread out my a couple of my earlobe piercings, but I ended up taking all of it out. My dentist convinced me to take out my tongue piercing because it was messing up my gum line. My eyebrow piercing, I ended up having to take out for a job. I'm not sure. I don't remember why I took out my nose piercing. Probably because I didn't take care of it well, because I was 19 and, and poor and grubby and, just not
showering.
Right.
Like,
no,
totally
literally. For real. Like it was a,
why do you have to shower at 19? Because you're with other people that don't shower. Right, I don't want to make you feel bad for not showering. So I'm not
and here's the thing. I was reading, part of my reading for one of my classes was like talking about poverty, and they were talking about how, and then they called college poverty by choice. And I was like, excuse the heck out of me. Nobody lives to choose, and nobody chooses to live in poverty, and just going to college shouldn't automatically make you an impoverished person. Like the fact that they automatically just said like, oh yeah, if you go to college, you're automatically become in poverty. I was like, oh my gosh, It
Do you
annoyed me.
know Sheena Barnes, Laura?
Certainly do. I
Okay.
love her.
I
One of
love
my
her as well.
favorites.
Right. So you're friends with Facebook, I assume?
Oh yeah.
So did you see her post today? Like I
Oh
literally
no, I
cried.
haven't seen it
Like
yet
I cried
today.
today. It was about mental health care and how it's ridiculous that
Mm,
people are charged for mental health care and it's
yeah,
not a luxury. Like
exactly. Oh
you would
yeah.
think we would invest in our piece. But back to the piercing. So I have the gauges, right? So I just
Okay.
slid in my gauge. It's a 10, so nothing huge, right? It's not like you can
Hmm.
like see the wall behind me.
Right.
So I am trying to go probably maybe until an 8 plus or minus. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know if I'll go that big. So I've had my whole ear pierced literally all the way. I've had a nose ring, so I had the chain going back to my nose. I lived in Europe.
Oh my
It was okay,
gosh.
right?
I
I
lived in
have
Europe.
9 tattoos right now. I would like to get a sleeve, but I have really important tattoos all on my wrists and my forearms because that's where mine primarily are. And I don't really want to cover those up because they all have meaning, right? At the end of the day. Oh, I'm being loud. Andrew's shutting the door. Sorry. Oh, he said it's okay.
We're
I know
loud
he
people.
is.
We can't help it.
We are loud people. Well, he's working in the other room. So
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
so my voice travels obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So in saying that, I really want to get more piercings, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I don't want to get the eye ring. I don't want to do any of that. There are some body piercings that I've contemplated. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I'm a wimp though. Like I'm an
You know,
absolute wimp.
the nose piercing wasn't as bad as I remember it. Like
Hmm.
she asked me when we got it done, she asked me, she was like, what did it feel like the last time you got it done? I was like, I just remember it feeling like I got punched in the face. And she was like, it's not quite supposed to hurt that much. So let's see about this.
What you did
And
wrong. Yeah.
right, yeah. And it was actually like I'm telling you, Amity, I can't say enough about Amity Inc. because they did like measurements and to see where like
Yeah. Like
how
it's like that sounds
yeah,
like an
to
in-depth
see like
consultation.
where
Like
yeah, to like see where to pierce. And they marked like 3 spots. I'm like, okay, here visually and will be the best places to have it. And if you do it on this spot, it'll your nose is a little bit thinner, so it may not hurt as much. And like it was fantastic. Yeah, it was much more, scientific and
yeah, it sounds like
professional
it.
than like the last time I got it done. The last time I got it done, I just remember them being like, huh, huh, huh,
Yeah.
like the end. So,
Well, I don't remember gauges being like this. So I have this low gauge in, right? It's like this tiny little gauge.
mhm,
It's a 12, 10, somewhere around there. 10. I think it's
yeah,
10. Well, I have a rubber band on the back that snaps in the back, like just a little
okay,
rubber band.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It, it look at one point, the first day, I'm like, screw it. I'm not even putting it on. I could not get it on. I got my left one,
Oh,
could
yeah,
not do my right one. And I'm like, I'm not wearing it. Screw it. It kept falling
yeah,
out. But
right.
finally,
I
I
was gonna
figured
say another
out
good
I
point.
cheated. I got what I think is a belly button piercing. It looks like a cone.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Totally small. I think it's like an 8, but it goes really skinny and all the way up thicker, right? So I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay. So I stick it in and then put the rubber band and flip it out that way.
Perfect,
Right? Totally good.
perfect. There
Yep,
you
yep.
go.
It's
Genius.
crazy on how those little things, guys don't have a lot of things to make us pop, right? So as a woman, you could wear shoes, first off. I love a woman in a pair of shoes, like a good heel. I mean, even not attractive people look attractive in a heel, right? It's just to
Mhm.
boost your confidence. It's everything to you. So I love a good heel, right? And I love color. So women can wear makeup or hair, right? I mean, there's so many different accessories to pop. A guy can really only wear a tie,
Yeah.
a shirt with a pop of color, and our socks. Our socks are really what do us. Now,
Mhm.
I am not a matcher of my socks. Laura, do you spend time matching your socks?
No, well, so I don't match per se, but I like have themes. So like I'll wear 2 Harry Potter socks, or I'll wear 2 Star Wars socks, or 2 socks that have stars on them, but they don't necessarily match.
I feel you. So I will do the same thing. I will never match. I will never wear like a white sock with a colored sock. We don't do that, right?
Well, right,
If
obviously.
if I am wearing blue, I will pull 2 socks that have blue in it. They're not going to match, but I will do it because I
Yeah.
think if I'm folding all these socks and matching them, you know how much time I'm taking away from me doing nothing?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. sock folding is like, and it's like, it's so tedious and one of the most annoying things in the world. And like, then of course you have the sock monster too, like
Right.
who, just eats socks all the time.
Well,
So
I like the
yeah,
no sock match because if one sock has a hole in it, throw it away. Now you no longer lose out on that
yeah,
other sock.
it's true. It's true. You
It's
don't
a
have to
win-win.
throw
You
out a
got this
pair.
here with connecting communities, and we here put your socks together.
We are here for the hot sock talk.
So, Laura, we are 1 week in from having a new president.
Yes. I'm not
Where are
gonna
we?
lie.
What's going
I
on?
did
What's out there in the world?
I did cry this week or at the end of last week when we lifted the trans ban the trans Biden or the trans ban for the armed services. Let me just see. I'm trying to get a Biden executive orders. So here, just looking up. That was one.
I did not cry, but I did have a moment of relief. Like I
Oh
remember
yeah,
sitting there going, "Ooh," like it was gonna be
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that one was a big one for me. It definitely made me cry. Let's see. The mask order for all federal properties, that includes airports. Like, hi, we've been in this pandemic for a year. I can't
Why are
believe.
we just doing that?
I
Like, why
know.
is that just happening?
I know. Just getting back into the climate Paris Agreement, getting back into the World Health Organization, ending the Muslim ban. Just like, oh my gosh, that there. Let's see, there was okay. So yep, trans military banned. What There's another one that I'm trying to oh, so here's a tricky one. Now here's one where it's like, yay, but also we're still watching you, buddy, because you didn't. It's not enough. He did sign an executive order which ends the ends reliance on private prisons for federal detainees, which is good because private prisons are a scourge on America, and we shouldn't be making money on or forcing labor on folks who are incarcerated. We need to really start, restoring the dignity to people who are incarcerated. But
Agreed.
the thing with the federal private prisons is most of the private prisons are being used by the Department of Homeland Security for immigrant detainees. So this executive order doesn't really fix the main problem, which is the use of the private prisons for the immigration detainees. So still got to keep an eye out on that one, but a good start nonetheless. So yeah, he's done a lot in a week. That's the strength and the weaknesses of using executive orders, is that you can get a lot done with just the power of the presidency, but at the same time the very next president that comes in and with that same stroke of a pen can wipe out all of your policies. So
I mean, that's the scary thing is, listen, it works both ways, right?
exactly.
Trump came in and started slashing everything with Obamacare and other things that he threw out there. We're kind of doing the same thing. Here's the thing that I don't like that makes me mad, right? And I'm
Hmm.
seeing it already. And if I'm honest, it pisses me off, Laura, right?
Yeah.
I apologize out there, sponsors. If you don't like that word, we will edit it accordingly. um, we all know I'm not a Trump fan, right? I think I've been
Hmm.
fairly clear on that. But I find it just as revolting to call him Cheeto Man or put up these memes that putting him in the
Yeah.
negative light, or as truthful as they are, right? Let's be open and honest. My opinion is that Trump is a really horrible person character-wise. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go out and slash him because at the end of the day, he was our president, right? He deserved some sort of respect. But more importantly, if I'm calling you out as a not you, Laura, but if I'm calling a Trump
Right.
supporter out for bullying, name calling, right? And then I turn around and do it, I'm no better.
Right.
Like
Right.
I'm no better. And it made me mad when I would see Dims crashing and trashing Trump in the same post about them yelling about Trump trashing other people.
Right.
Like, it
Yeah.
never made
Yeah.
sense to me.
I mean, it doesn't, relying on, just in general, relying on attacks that are about someone's physical appearance, or like with Biden's case, the way he talks, because he's got a stutter, you know, I don't like, you know, I don't like those type of memes, but like the meme of like, where it's pictures that you can take out of context, like the meme of him like shouting at the kid on the White House lawn. Like, I love that meme. The Biden meme of him just like staring out the window and people like put all sorts of text on top of that. Those are funny to me.
What do you think of Bernie Sanders? That is going around.
God. Bernie just
Good
being
old Bernie.
the most Bernie. Like, if you just, I absolutely, you know what? And it's like, you can love or hate Bernie. You know, I go back and forth on him sometimes, but the thing that you have to appreciate is that he is on message. And when people were, you know, anytime someone tried to talk to him about, you know, oh, have you seen you're going viral on the internet? He was like, yep, these mittens are from a small business in Vermont, and they're made from recycled materials and Green New Deal and $15 minimum wage and da da da. Like, he just knows how to get into his talking points so seamlessly, and just,
well, he's seasoned, right? He is seasoned like a good fry. Oh my God, I just said that. We need to write that down. Like, that was an amazing. Write it down. Seasoned like an art. Don't try to break it. Just say it. Like, I always go one too many. Right? Like, always one too many.
It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us.
Speaking of one too many, grab your coffee.
Okay.
I thought it was such a powerful message that these women wore purple last Wednesday, right?
Absolutely.
I thought that was intentional, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely amazing. Now, I will say, Michelle Obama, wow.
Slay
Lay the house
Queen.
down, okay?
Queen.
Lay the house down. Yes, Queen.
Although, I will give you a close, you know who is a close second for slaying that? Who? Is second dude Doug's daughter, Emma.
Right.
People need to go back. Everybody was like feeling her jacket, which her jacket like was fabulous. And so they thought that was the showstop. No. You need to go back and watch when she walked down the Capitol stairs. She served a walk.
She? Okay.
Tyra was sitting there somewhere saying, call her, get her on the phone. We
need her on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh my God. She served a whole walk down those stairs, and I was obsessed. I was obsessed with her from that second. Like, she's a dream. Doug, yeah. I've loved seeing the footage of Doug like not knowing where to stand, because
right? It was so real. It was real.
Yeah, he's just like fantastic.
I liked the fist bump.
Oh my gosh, I know.
For me, like, I cried here because that's who I am.
Yeah.
When Michelle looked over and did one of those numbers, you saw the love, and you saw you got this, girl. Like, you saw that connection as a Black woman
beaming off of their faces. Yeah, it was so beautiful. And oh my gosh, I can't believe we've gone this long without talking about Amanda Gorman's amazing poetry reading. Like that. She came out, first of all, with her yellow jacket and her red band and her red headband, looking like sunshine itself. And then the words that she read were just like unbelievable. 22 and is the national poet laureate reading at the inauguration. Like, Hillary Clinton pulled her up and was like, we want to see you. We want to see you on a national level. Like, you know, that's some stuff, man. That is some stuff. She was amazing.
I mean, it was all good. I mean, Lady Gaga was amazing. I mean, when J-Lo walked out with that, Like I thought
That
J-Lo was
white.
missed like the first lady. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
I
I mean, she
know
came out to
J-Lo.
serve, right?
And then Lady Gaga looking like she was there for the Hunger Games with that dress and that bird. She is Effie Trinket in real life, and I love it. She
Do you
is
remember when
just,
she came out in the meat outfit or in
oh
the
yeah,
egg at like the award show and it
yeah, oh
hatched?
yeah. Yeah, I remember those two. I remember
I
those
love
two.
me some
She's
Gaga.
come a lot. She's come a long way from the meat dress. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
that damn meat dress. But it's a
Yeah,
staple. Like you're never gonna
right.
forget that she wore a meat dress,
But you know
right?
what? There's someone else. There was a picture that I saw of while she was like getting up onto the, getting up onto the podium, getting ready to sing, and then like someone was holding her mic, and Mike Pence was holding her golden mic and
I thought
handed
that
it
was
to him.
ironic.
And I
I
know I
was
was
happy
like,
he was
the
there.
gay icons of the gay icons, and Mike Pence has to hand a microphone to her so she can gay this national anthem up. Like
Yeah.
it.
So let's talk
I was
serious.
glad he was there too. I was glad
I
he
was
was there
too.
too.
Um,
It was important.
Where or how do you think the biggest impact for small business is going to be?
We're gonna have to see what's gonna have to come out of Congress. I know I work for the Small Business Administration, so I know that we're doing more COVID lending. But those are loans that have to be paid back. They give really good interest rates, but there's still stuff that has to be paid back. The
Correct.
other loans, like the PPP and the stuff like that, those have forgiveness packages. So I think that they've already said that there's gonna be another round of PPP. Well, I think there was another round of PPP in the smaller bill that they passed that everybody got the $600 out of. And they did more help in that one for like live venues. So concerts, concert halls and like places like the Stranahan, big theaters that have just been completely shut down, and they have no way, no alternative ways of making income,
Right.
which I've got tickets for July to see a show with my mom in July at the Stranahan. I'm assuming that's not happening. So
No.
it's like,
I just had so my stuff shut down last year. I had our basketball tickets to see with Jackson Robert, and then I had this makes me really sad. I had a concert to go see. I don't know if you know who they are, but Walk Off the Earth.
Oh yeah.
Are you
I
familiar with
love
them?
them. Yeah.
Love them, right? They canceled, they rescheduled. They're supposed to be in February, and I just got an email last week that they canceled it. And I'm like, oh, like I really wanted to see them. For folks that don't
I
know,
know.
Walk Off the Earth, they're a 3-piece band, and they play instruments very you need to watch it. That's all I
Together.
can say.
Yeah, they play one instrument together.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is. I mean, some of their
Definitely.
shows are really, really good. Our videos are really good. There'll be like 8 of them, and they'll all be popping it. You just need to watch them. Their videos on YouTube.
I first heard of them like
Valentine's Day is
6
popping up.
years ago. Oh my gosh, it is. Is it? Yeah, I guess. Who
It is.
cares?
I mean, what do we do? Like, we can't go anywhere, right? Like, we can't go anywhere. We can't do anything. In Ohio, we have to be done by 10.
Well, the governor just said yesterday, in Ohio, he's going to work on extending the curfew as it is going to be related to hospitalization numbers. So as early as tomorrow, we could have the curfew extended till 11.
Because that extra hour, right, is going to make all the difference.
I know, whatever. But
I was thinking, I was watching. I have some performing friends, right?
Yeah.
And by performing friends, I mean people that need money, like DJs, right? Like dancers. I mean, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk open and honest here.
Yeah.
Laura, what are the strippers doing? Sorry, the dancers.
Dancers are just, I can't imagine that they're having any, and then they're one of those type of employees where I'm sure they don't, they're not on the books of the businesses.
Right.
So they're like 1099 employees. So they can't get regular social, regular unemployment. They needed that federal extended unemployment, which gosh only knows, what's happened with that. So
well, even
it's,
drag queens, everyone's using
yeah,
like Venmo or PayPal, and here's
yep,
my link, do it. But here's the thing that I'm
yeah,
hearing out in the community as a whole is that people will go to these shows, they'll see that, and they don't have to tip because they're not being seen that they're not tipping, right?
right,
Like if you go
exactly.
to a show and you're front stage and you're not giving any dollars, they're gonna come at you, right? Because that's
Right,
what they do.
yeah,
Here, you're like, oh, I put money in, it's okay. Like you don't know that, so you could walk off the stage and have $2 and one penny.
exactly, yeah. And it's, I don't know, part of yeah, I mean, it's good that you can do that some of the performers are doing stuff like that, because I know I've had that problem where, definitely go to like a drag show and you get
Oh,
all
I'm like,
excited.
you've been dancing, Laura?
No, but I've
Laura
had that
Ling.
problem. I've had that problem at drag shows where you just get all excited for the first like couple of girls, and like you run out of all of your bills, and then it's like for the last one you're like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I don't have any more. So
I
I
got
love,
him.
like, I know, it's like I love that some of that in that case you'd have a Venmo, so I can still, like, I can electronically
I love Venmo.
throw the bills.
Like the best
Yeah.
part of memo, the best part of Venmo is when I get to write the description, right? Like you get to
Oh, I
write
know.
what it's
You gotta
for.
always come up. Yeah, you gotta come up with something fun. You gotta
Yeah.
use fun emojis.
And I'm stocky, right? So I'll go to my Venmo account, look at my friends, and see who they're paying.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I'm like, wait a minute,
and
you
try to
haven't paid
figure
me
out what
back.
it's for.
How are you paying these other people?
And try to figure out what everything's for with the emojis.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
like when I go to the mall and I watch people
Mhm.
from afar and then I talk for them, right? You do that too, right? I'm not the only one that sits in the mall and
Sure.
talks.
Yeah, sure I do.
Thanks, Laura Ling. Okay.
You're welcome. Yeah, we all do that, Brian. We all do it.
Look, I'll go out to dinner and be like, look at that table over there and have conversations, what they're pretending saying. You know how
Oh
many
my
people have
gosh.
broken up because of whatever reason?
You're just writing breakups into people. You're just throwing that out into the universe for people. Oh my gosh.
Look, this is why I'm excited about Valentine's Day. Usually, come Valentine's Day, I see all these memes about proposals. I want to see these people propose.
Mm.
I love
Yeah.
proposals. And then I want someone to say no. Like, I want someone to, like, big proposal, and they're like, no, not
We're like,
today.
no, thank you.
Well, that's a question that you should not ask unless you know the answer to.
I had
You
a
should
friend
never
that
go in
happened
blindly.
to. I had
You've
that
been
friend that happened to, that they proposed at dinner in public, and they were like, I was actually coming here to break up with you.
Oh, that's like
On
popcorn worthy.
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Very separate ends of the relationship spectrum they were
Right.
at. But, that's what happens when I think we were like 23 at the time. So, when you're
Right.
young, you don't know things.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I have proposed or I have proposed to on 3 different occasions. Okay. God, that makes me sound very I love marriage. No,
No.
but then
Yeah.
we're the
You
same
love
person,
love.
okay? But and I knew the answer when I asked. Like I wasn't gonna ask without knowing the answer because that's like the worst, right?
Right.
Now I will say
I
that all
mean,
my proposals weren't wah wah, right? My proposal with Susan, I was 19, right? So I was a kid, I didn't know what to
oh my
do. It
gosh.
was on the side of the
Right.
road in the rain.
Aw.
Okay.
But
We
that could
just
be
broke up.
kind of cute.
We just broke up.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe not.
let's break up. No, let's get married.
Right.
And then my second time, that was a little cuter, but still
That was a
nothing
little cute.
spectacular. So the next time I really propose, I am like doing a flash mob, right? Like we're gonna do it. There is no
You're
doubt.
gonna do the whole thing.
I'm doing the whole thing. Now, let me tell you, the wedding is gonna be very small. Okay, like very
Right.
small. But the
I'm
proposal
totally
is gonna
into
be
that.
huge. Yeah. I
Yeah,
want a
I'm
big reception.
totally in.
Yeah, I want a big
Okay.
reception. So,
Yeah.
my first one, we had a very low cost wedding, but it was a church wedding. We had 100 people, very simple. My second, as I like to call it, party, because the second party was huge. It was Willy Wonka themed, right?
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, totally huge. We spent more time planning the party than the actual marriage survived. 62 days. Okay, whatever. So this time I'm like, I want a big reception, right? Because I want a destination reception. So, but I don't
Ah.
want a big wedding. Yeah, I don't want a big wedding.
Yeah. So you think you'd get married again?
So I don't know if I'll get married again, but I believe in forever. I will say that. Like I believe in marriage, right? When you're with the right person, right? And you guys are
Mhm.
solid, and you have that foundation to build off of. And at 19, you never have a foundation to build off of. Let me make that
Right.
very clear.
Exactly.
Ever. There is never a good reason to get married before you're 22. Never.
I'd say before 30, but
I'm trying to get Jackson to start not dating until he's 26. And then he
yeah,
could talk about being engaged 28 to 30 and then kids after 32. Okay.
there you go.
But
Perfect
in
plan.
saying that, I do believe in forever. Um, I believe in marriage. I don't think you need to be married to be together, right? I don't believe in the God's eye being marriage aspect. I believe in the commitment aspect of
Yeah.
it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I listen, I love to celebrate love. Folks that know me know that. So if I can have a ceremony and I can celebrate the love that I have for this other person, I'm all in it. I just don't want to pay for it, right? Like I don't want to
Right.
spend 5 years paying for this wedding because it's not that important.
Exactly.
I'd rather pay for
No,
the party. I'd rather pay for the honeymoon, right? I'd rather pay for the 5 people that I want there at that destination place. So those are
exactly.
things that are important to me. I mean, at the end of the day, I want the marriage. I could care less about the wedding. Does that make sense?
Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I mean,
For
I
sure.
believe in it. So we just got to make sure that it works and it goes from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So back to we oh my god, we're like just talking. We have like 15 minutes. I don't think Mike is gonna show up. That's
Yeah.
okay.
That's
We'll
okay.
see him next week. But let's get
Exactly.
back to small businesses. So my thought
Yeah.
process is if we get this additional 1400, I say if because I
Hmm.
still haven't gotten my second 600. If we get this additional 1400 and he gets into the point of wanting to pay us 2000 a month, right? Then I
Hmm.
think that would stimulate the economy because
Oh,
people will be
absolutely.
blowing that money. I mean, it's not like they can
Absolutely.
do like experiences. They can't take a cruise on it, right? So they're going to be spending it at Target and Walmart and Kohl's and maybe a new car.
Well, and I think hopefully, that's part of the point of the UBI is to hopefully, use that to cover a lot. UBI being in universal basic income, which is what the concept of $2,000 a month would be. That's to that's money that the way I understand it, to help pull the pressure off of like your needs to live, your food, your utilities, your rent, and then so you do have a little bit more discretionary, or just no, we call it discretionary spending because it's not like stuff that's needed to keep you
Yeah.
alive, but it's still it's stuff to give your life meaning. So it's not like,
Right.
having a cell phone in 2021 is not an extravagance, it's a necessity,
Yeah.
because you have to have access to the internet. So it's the
Well,
2000.
self-care. I mean, self-care is a
Exactly.
necessity, right? So maybe you
It
need that
is.
massage. Maybe you need that therapy session. Maybe you need that weekend getaway. Um,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the same thing here. This is the same aspect. I have a friend who gets so upset when another set of our friends go out because they're on government assistance, right? So when time comes and they get their little chunk of money because they have 26 kids, um, they pay all their bills and they're responsible, right? But they have some
Mhm.
money that's left over and they'll go to Great Wolf Lodge or Castaway Bay. People are like, oh, that's horrible, they don't have any money. Well, listen, the people that don't have money don't have any idea to save, so when they get it they spend it, right? They're not
Well, but
saving or hoarding
also,
it.
so what? So poor people are just supposed to be miserable and never have
Right.
nice things ever. Like they're never allowed to have a joyful experience in their life.
Right.
Like that's what, it's just the way we expect. And it's all, because we have this concept of like bootstrapping in America, that you can pull yourself up and you can be a billionaire in 2 years if you just work hard enough, which is
Join my team.
obvious. Yeah, which is obvious BS, but so that's, I think we need to, destigmatize a lot of that. And I think that the extra, these ideas of having this extra income to help stabilize people so that they can, you know, live off something more than the bare minimum. Because if you think about that, how is that? What do you think that does to people's mental health to live on the bare minimum every day of your life? Like that's just, it's hard.
Well, you feel like
People
crap,
should be,
right? You
yeah,
are down on yourself because you see next door neighbor buying that new phone
exactly.
and you
You
still have
know
a
you're poor. It's not
BlackBerry.
like people don't know they're poor. Like they know it.
They live it, right?
Yeah. So why do we need to shame people for trying to have any type of joy that they can find in their lives?
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
especially if what you're doing, your joy isn't harming anybody, you know, then
You know, my parents used to give me this advice. Now, when I say this, and God help me if you're listening out there, parents, but sorry, I got a text real quick. They didn't give me a lot of advice that I recommend as an adult, right? Like
Yeah.
zero. But this one piece, I live and breathe it. And I teach it to Jackson Robert because I think it is extremely, extremely important. And one of the
Mhm.
pieces that my mother always told me, again, she was not one to give good advice, but here it is. And I'm going to give it to you, and you could do it. You can do
Okay.
whatever you want in this world, just don't hurt someone. Do it. If you want to go
I
out and be
mean,
naked, go out and be naked and run across your lawn, as long as it doesn't affect somebody else's joy, happiness,
Mhm.
or well-being, right? Now,
Yeah.
obviously, if I go out and I start shooting people, that's going to affect people, right? So don't do
Right.
it. But do whatever you want to do in this world. Just don't hurt someone. And I tell Jackson that all the time. And I usually follow up with, dude, be whatever you want to do, right? You want to be a garbage
Mhm.
man? Be a garbage man. Be the
Exactly.
best damn garbage man you can be. Be garbage man of the month every single month. If
Mhm.
that's what fills your
For
soul,
sure.
and I don't have to compensate and pay the rest of your rent money because you have enough of a salary of being a garbage man, be a
Yep,
garbage
yep,
man,
yep.
dude.
Yeah.
You know, I could care less. Just do it because you're happy. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to go to work every day and be happy, right? You know, my parents,
Exactly.
and I'm sure your parents are the same way in this aspect or the same mentality because I think our parents are somewhat the same age. Um, my father thinks it's ridiculous. Now, my father just turned 75, and he thinks it's ridiculous that I've had a lot of jobs. Okay, a lot of jobs.
Right. Yeah.
We are in that community where we stay 2 to 5 years and then we move on to pick up new skills. Where
Yeah.
he and his generation stays till you die. I mean, my
Yeah.
father is 75
Stay
years
for
old.
retirement.
He's
For
retired
sure.
from the Navy. He then left the Navy after the retirement, picked up another job for 13 years, ended that
Wow.
job, and then picked up I mean, he's going to die going to work. There is no doubt in my mind. So that's just not who we are. You know, I chuckle with my
Mhm.
mom all the time because, you know, in my grade report, Jackson just got 3 A+ and 2 A's.
Okay,
I know.
Jackson.
Great parenting. Thanks, Holly.
Yeah.
And
Hey.
and Susan. And so with saying that, I am like head over heels, right? Because I don't know why I was trying to
Mhm.
take my clothes off. I was so excited, right? Laura's like, oh God, we don't need to see that. Cover it up, cover it up. But I was not one. He asked me the other day, Dad, do you ever skip school? I said, oh no. Right? I go, no.
Never.
He goes, Dad, are you telling the truth? I said, oh no.
Oh
I'm like,
no.
I have to do as I say, not as I do, Jackson.
Yeah,
Actually, I
exactly.
didn't really skip school as much, but I skipped classes. I skipped classes. I probably only went to 2 classes a day for like 2 years. And it's crazy on how that transition, and even now it's about going to college, right? It's not about going to college. It's about finding
Not for
something that you're going to be
everybody.
happy with, that you're going to do for however
Mhm.
long, and to be able to do that successfully. So that's where I
Yeah.
hope we are as a community really take care of our small businesses. You like how I wrap that around?
Wrap
Is
that
go
right
out,
around,
right? Order
exactly.
McDonald's. Don't go to Grubhub. Okay, guys, don't order on Grubhub. Don't order on
Yeah.
Eat Dash. Well, let me phrase that. Do it once a week so that way you pay that person, you give that person a tip that's a delivery. So that way you're
Mhm.
doing it. But go to the actual restaurants, right? And if you don't like local restaurants or diners, that's okay. We'll judge you later, right?
Well,
But
you still have it's still, paying local people's salaries
yep,
and whatnot when you go to the chain restaurants and
absolutely. I
chain
mean,
stores or
just
whatever,
spend
because they
money.
have local
That is what I'm
workers.
looking for.
Yeah.
Just spend money. And here's another piece of advice that my father told me. And I use this advice today. Again, good advice. These are the only 2 advices that I really use. Never leave the house in a hurry. Never leave the
Okay.
house in a hurry. Because if you leave the house in a hurry, something's going to happen. You're going to get frustrated. So
Mhm.
you're going to try to get in front of that person that's waiting. And then there's going to be a who gets in first, who's bigger. And just don't leave in a hurry. Let someone else go in front of you in the line, right? They have
Right,
15 items and you
exactly.
have 2. Let the person go. You have time. Are you that person? Do you let people go in front of you? Do you pay it
Oh
forward?
yeah, I am. I
I'm in
try
Subway
to, you
and
know.
I'm constantly paying for the person behind me Subway. Speaking of Subway, I saw this meme about doing that, right? About how you pay
Right.
for like the coffee behind you and so forth.
Yeah.
And I was told never do it at Starbucks because the people that
Why?
go to Starbucks can afford to go to Starbucks.
Mm,
Sense.
yes, but it's still, but like, it's
Go to
not about whether
McDonald's, right? Go
I
to
don't
the fast food
necessarily, it's
places.
about, it's where, I don't think it's necessarily about whether or not someone can afford it. It's just about doing something nice for other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, you know, hey, you can get plain coffee at Starbucks for like $2.50. So it's not all expensive at Starbucks.
I'm a black coffee guy because I don't like to drink my calories very much. So
Yeah.
I go to Starbucks and order just a basic black
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah.
No, I used to love their rewards program. I was
Yeah.
like on it, and then they changed it up, and I switched over to another coffee place because they made me mad.
Because they made me mad. Is that the coffee place that you switched to right there in your hand? Is that Tim Hortons? It looks like
Oh
a Tim Hortons.
no, no, no. I'm offended that you even asked me that.
Oh my God, Brian, your face
Oh.
when you said that. I can't. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait for you to go, like, write down the time on this so you can go back
Okay,
and
where are we
watch
at?
your own
9:27.
face. That is
Well, that was
so funny.
that was the face I got last night. We grabbed towels out, and apparently I grabbed goat towels that were folded and cleaned and did not know it. And Andrew, you'd have thought that I like put peas in front of me because I don't like any peas. It was hilarious. So I got to look at that face though.
Yeah.
But no, I do like Big B coffee, right?
Yeah.
I like Michigan cherry. That's probably my all-time favorite.
Okay.
Don't
Yep.
smell it before you drink it. Okay,
No.
because if you smell
Because
it,
it's
you're not going
very
to drink it.
cherry. Yeah.
It tastes like or it smells like Robitussin.
It does. It really, really does. Especially in the, like, if you smell the beans first.
Yeah.
Like, it
Do
does
you
not
eat
smell good.
beans? Do you just eat coffee beans?
No, I don't. I do
Try
like to
that.
smell them though.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dip them in chocolate and put them on vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh, or peanut
Yeah.
butter.
Or peanut butter. Interesting. I've
If
not
you
tried
roll in
that.
peanut butter and then throw in the freezer, they freeze. So good.
Mm-hmm.
You're like,
I'll have
oh,
to try that out. Yeah, right. That sounds like a really easy, good snack.
super easy. I'm a snacker throughout the day, so those are quick and easy for me to do. So, well, listen, it is 9:28. You know what that means?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it is time to go already. How
I
did
know.
that happen? It always flies by when it's you and I, Brian. It really,
I know.
really does.
We need to do like an extended show, right? Like an after hours where
Right.
we can talk a little uncensored with no
Uh-oh.
sponsors. Okay.
Right.
Speaking of our sponsors, I do want to make sure that we give a shout out because we would not be able to be here, being able to hang out if it wasn't for our sponsors. So obviously, first and foremost, we want to talk about Dance Fam Studio. They are located in Maumee, Ohio. That's not true. Monclova, Ohio, as well as Cleveland. They have several different classes. Laura, you need to get into that improv. Okay. I think you would do well. I know you don't have time. Okay. She's like, I don't have time, but it would be a great one out there. We also have Justin with Remax Preferred. He's our realtor in the group. We also have the Contact Farmer. Send a hug and a card, right? It's Valentine's Day coming up. Send those cards out. So reach out to him. I'm going through the list. We also have Apollo Mobile Solutions. They took care of our app. They can take care of yours. Did I miss someone? I feel like I missed someone. Dance Fam.
Stratus Cleaning Solutions.
There we go. If you would like me and my team to come and clean your business, let us know. Laura, what about you? I've seen you have some Toledo Talks coming out.
Yep, we had Toledo Talks episodes on Friday, and I plan on doing one this afternoon. I meant to do one yesterday, but dinner plans superseded. So we'll have another episode today. You can find Toledo Talks. It's all one word on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And yeah, episodes twice a week, Tuesday or Wednesday, and Fridays, catching up on both local news and national news that will impact the local Northwest Ohio area.
Nice. So next week we should like pick a topic and horn in on that topic.
Perfect.
What's your thought on that?
Down for that. I'm
Okay.
so down for that.
I'm
You know,
gonna
I'm a big old
put
nerd.
you
I
in
love
charge of that. Let's look at
Okay.
President Biden. Oh, I love saying that. Let's look at
I know.
President Biden's top 5 executive orders,
Perfect.
and then we'll
I'm
break
writing
them
it
down
down.
for you.
Excellent. Fabulous. Yeah. I'm
Really,
sure we'll
how
have
they
some
impact
more.
you
Yep.
and the
And I'm
community
sure
you
we'll
live
have
in.
some more by next Wednesday anyway. So
How many are we at?
perfect.
How many executive
Um,
orders
I-
are we sitting at right now?
I think it was 17.
That was his
when
first
I,
day. He's signed some
Okay.
since.
Yes, he has. If it was 17 the first day, maybe it's at 27 now.
Yeah.
I know there's a 7 in there. Yeah.
Got it.
They
Okay.
did say that, like, you know, President Obama wrote like just under 300 in his 8 years, and President Trump wrote 3,004. So, yeah.
Well,
I know it seems like a lot.
2021.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think Kamala's been a little quiet. Do you think that's purposely?
Yeah. Well, I think she had to be until they figured out the rules of the Senate. You know what I mean? And because that's really her main job is presiding over the Senate and whipping up votes for the president and the Senate. So I think she's kind of had to wait while they got things going, and impeachment trial will be starting here on February 8th. So we've got lots to talk about.
I love their connection.
For sure.
I saw a picture of President Biden and Vice President Harris walking, and their synergy in their, because they're covered, right? So you can't see that, but I could see that connection. I personally think, and this is why I think it, and people are going to throw tomatoes at me, and I don't care. I believe it's because it's a woman and a man that they are creating this powerful team. Like, there's no competition, right? Like, everyone knows that Harris is going to be president another 4 years. Like, we already know that's where it's going, right? There's no competition. They're doing it together. They're a team.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's just the president running the country. Like, I feel like there is a team behind him. I posted something, and then we'll get out of here, guys, last week, where President Biden was talking, and he said, and I quote, or I paraphrase, "If you're mean to someone, I'm going to fire you on the spot."
Yes, I heard that as well. When he was swearing in some appointees, he says, if I see you being disrespectful or dressing down any subordinate, I will fire you on the spot. And I
loved it.
Wow.
I'm like, listen, that is the attitude that I think people wanted with Trump. Right. That is when, again, I'm going to give them a forgiveness of putting him in the first time. Okay.
That's big of you.
But that is what I think people were looking for him to do, with being different and not a politician. Now, unfortunately, he flipped it around and he was the bully in that aspect. But I was not a Bush fan. Okay. Let's be open and honest. I was not a Daddy Bush fan. I was not a son Bush fan. But not Kamala. Okay. You like how I threw that in there? But I respected that man after 9/11 when he walked out and said, "We're not going anywhere. Here I am. This is what we're doing tonight." You know, I respected the man in that aspect. And I feel like that's what President Biden is going to do. I can't call him Biden. I feel like disrespectful, right?
Yeah.
But Trump, it was like Trump. But I feel like President Biden is going to be like, we're not tolerating this. You know, I read an article that Twitter doesn't know what to do because they're not busy anymore.
I know. I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Right. Well, listen, we should wrap up. Go ahead, Laura. Take us home.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in here to Connecting Communities and More with me, Laura Lee, and Brian J.
Laura Ling!
whichever way we're pointing. We're here every Wednesday at 8:30. So come back next week and visit with us then. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your week.
Be safe. Take care. And thanks for joining us.